You may be asking yourself, what role do the coaches play in the college recruiting process? Now, I'm not talking about the college coaches. Obviously, they have a huge role to play, but what about the high school coach? What about the club coach that your kiddo has? What role should they be playing? So now it's time to talk about something that's not so much fun, and that's club politics. It is helpful to have a good standing with the coach that your kid is playing for in high school or on that club or academy team. It's important. But not everyone can rise up to that level. I know as a single mom, it was difficult for me to play the politics behind sports and get my kids noticed and get them the attention that so many of the other parents had already figured out how to do. There was actually a parent on the club, in the club, on the team that would babysit for free for the coach's kids, young kids, and even have them over for sleepovers. That's not something I could do. Kudos for that parent that could do that, but I could not. So how do you make sure that even though maybe you're not able to play at the highest political game within the club, that your kid still gets the support that they need? And it's challenging, especially with something that is so important as the college recruiting process. So what I decided to do was to truly take matters into my own hands. I could not wait around for the coaches to do all of this for us. It was too important to me because I knew my players were great. I knew they had wonderful skills. They would get compliments all the time from other coaches after the game, talking to them about what great players they were. But the idea for me is, as I was waiting, their academy coach was busy. The club coach had so much going on, and the idea that he was going to just pay attention to my girls when there were literally hundreds of girls that he was coaching was just not realistic. So I'm glad that I was able to, kind of pause and reassess the situation so that yes, they still played a role, but I didn't allow that role to be as big as it was in the beginning. And that's how I was able to help both of my girls get the scholarship opportunities. I really just took charge of the situation, did the research, and began to understand the recruiting process so that we could engage with that, even though the coach wasn't able to be at 100% or at the same level that he was with some of the other players on the team, which was fine. No harm, no foul. But waiting for the coach to take charge and control of something so important may not be the best thing for you. So as you're going through the college recruiting process, please make sure that you are taking the lead, that this isn't something that you've kind of delved out to somebody else to do, that you're doing it for you and your family. Because let's face it, the college that your child goes to, right, that choice is probably one of the biggest decisions that they're ever going to make. After getting married and who they choose as a partner, that college they choose will have an influence on their network, how much debt they're in, and so much more. So it's worth it to take charge, get to know and understand the recruiting process so that you can make the most of it for yourself and your kid.